Whether it's your first time here or you're a regular here at Mr. Super Oz, I just want to thank you for tuning in to the channel. It exists because I, Oz, from the channel Mr. Super Oz, I wrote a 68-page graphic novel called Everlasting Survivors. Volume 1 is called All Day Long. If you follow the link in the description of this video, you can get yourself hats, shirts, posters, all kinds of fun things. But most importantly, you can get the story itself. And the more people that pick up the story, the greater the chances are that there can be continued adventures with these heroes. Thank you. After that open rolls, enjoy the video. If you could, give it a like. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment. Enjoy. It is now your turn once again, sir. This is the go-home show for Monday Night Raw going into Backlash. What went down on your Monday Night Raw go-home show?
All right. So first things first. Triple H is in the casino.
Oh, I love it.
And so he's if you guys have been keeping track at home, he's been jet flying,
Limousine riding,
kiss stealing,
and now he's wheeling and dealing.
but the wheeling and dealing here is a little different than what we expect.
Okay.
Triple H is talking about Backlash and how, as the world champion, he's decided to grace us all with his presence and defend the world title against a lucky number one contender from Monday Night Raw. And how does he decide this? Well, he puts up the big roulette wheel, and on it are the faces.
I love this so much. I want this to be real so bad.
Yep. And it's just all the singles male wrestlers on Monday Night Raw. And he says, all right, I want to give this 2 spins here, and whoever the 2 faces it lands on will wrestle tonight to determine who will be wrestling me at Backlash.
Yeah.
So of course this thing's rigged as hell, but on it.
So I don't mean to interrupt because this is great setup, but there's a man who comes to mind when you talk about this, right?
Yeah.
So on his tights, when he challenged Cody Rhodes, and also previously when he defended against Cody Rhodes, it said on his tights, "The Dealer." Do you remember who that was? It was Nick Aldis.
Oh yeah.
So Nick Aldis is a free agent as of, I don't know, like a week ago in the world of professional wrestling. Yeah. And so, I love that you're having Triple H do this, but the beautiful thing is that Nick Aldis could easily do that in the here and now.
Oh, big time.
Yes. Continue, please. That's good stuff.
So obviously, Triple H has rigged the wheel, and Flair knows that, and he knows that. So his first spin, he spins it, and the first name that comes up is Christian.
Okay. Well, I love Christian, and you love Christian, and Mick Foley loves Christian.
And that's great. And of course, Triple H is like, Christian!
Oh, crap.
Like, he's over here laughing, like, wow. Well,
here's what I would have Triple H say after he calms down. He would say, that is a great tag team wrestler.
Great, top-notch tag team wrestler.
I feel like he actually has been tag team champion with Jericho, Edge.
Yep.
Anybody else? I mean, probably somebody else. But regardless, he's still a really good tag team wrestler. He's not on that level of Arn Anderson. Actually, if he says you can say that to Rick, he's like he's not on the level.
He's not an Arn Anderson.
He's not an Arn Anderson tag team wrestler.
But he's a pretty good.
Yeah, he's a pretty good wrestler.
Like he's a B plus. I would give him.
All right, what's the next spin?
So while Triple H was laughing, he was banging against the roulette wheel.
Yeah, I like it.
So he broke it. So when he spun it again, it landed on Kurt Angle, and Triple H is like, no, No, not now. No, not this. No. Hold on. That's not the one. I need a respin. And then Mick says, oh. And then, because Mick's at the casino too, because, he's already booked the show for the night. So he's like, oh, Tristan versus Kurt Angle? That sounds like a great match.
Yeah.
And then says, good job, Hunter. And walks off and goes and plays blackjack or something or whatever. And Flair's like, sorry, man, nothing I can do.
Exactly.
So that's my main event for the night, Christian versus Kurt Angle. Throughout the show, like I said, so I forgot to mention this last week, but Jazz is sitting at ringside for the Molly versus Trish match, and she's also sitting at ringside for the Molly versus Lita match.
Can I suggest that Trish is at the announce table with JR and King?
Totally with it.
Because, excuse me.
I don't know how King's going to be able to handle that, but
well, that's the thing, is like he'll be freaking out.
Yeah.
But the reason I like this is because Jazz has respect for Molly.
Mm-hmm.
She has to be prepared for Lita in case she goes over.
Exactly.
And Trish, she knows she'll be wrestling Lita regardless of the outcome of the match. So
Exactly.
it just shows the importance of this division.
Exactly. Like, everyone's out there. Like, Jazz is literally out there, not on commentary. She's taking notes.
Exactly, yeah. I like
saying,
that.
okay, I see what we're doing here. All right, I'm going to have to watch out for that moonsault.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then after that, Jazz goes backstage and goes, this number one contenders match is huge. It'll be a segment or whatever after, but just talking about this number one contenders match. But I feel like as the champion, I should have a match on Backlash as well. And Mick's like, you know what? That's a great idea. Do you have anyone in mind for a challenger? And she throws out Ivory. So
I like it.
Ivory's been gone for a while.
Yep.
But established star, people know who she is.
Can I tell you why that I love this so much?
What?
When Chyna won her first and only women's championship, it was over Ivory.
Yep.
And if Jazz wants to overtake the ninth wonder of the world in the minds of the viewer, exactly, then I think her defeating Ivory on pay-per-view is the way to go.
Exactly, which is why I booked the match today.
Smart.
So Mick says, Jazz says, I love it. I'm sorry, Mick, I was right the first time.
Yes.
Mick says, I love it. We'll make it happen. I'll sign it right now. Don't you worry, everything's handled. So we have our two women's matches for Backlash. It's going to be huge. The Dudleys come out and say, you know what? Everyone else is having a number one contenders match. I feel like the tag titles should do the same.
Oh, that's funny.
So the Dudleys throw out the two newest tag teams that were established last week. So Holly and Saturn decided to team up, and Sean Stasiak, Meat and Billy.
Meat and Billy.
Were assigned, and they said the winner of this match will be the new number one contenders and will face us at Backlash. And so Sean and Billy and Holly and Saturn have a nice little tag match, about 10 minutes or so. It does the job. But Holly and Saturn go over. They're really feeling themselves. But then the Dudleys come out and say, great job, guys. You won the match. You won. Now you get to face the Dudley boys in a tag team tables match.
So you don't feel like you won anything at this point.
Yep. So that's tag title match sorted. Goldust defends the hardcore title. And I'm going to have him defend it against Scotty. It's a fun little match. Scotty does the worm. Loses at the end. But it's a fun little match crowd. Similar to your Hurricane versus Val Venis.
There you go.
So,
Can I make a suggestion post-match?
Yeah.
So, so you said Scotty doesn't win, right?
Yeah.
But obviously the crowd is behind Scotty
Of course.
body because he's a fan favorite.
Exactly.
So on his way up the ramp, I would love for him to feel dejected and sad, and you just see it in his face. He's like, man, I let the crowd down.
Yeah.
So what I would love to see happen as Scotty 2 Hotty is going up the ramp is for the lights to go down. Everybody thinks it's an assault, right?
Yep.
But no, when the lights come up, Big Keisha's standing next to Little Hottie, and he pats him on the back. He's like, points to the ring, and they both run, and we start doing the dance, right? Yeah, and you hear the music, and the crowd goes wild. And so, and that way, you know, it shows the importance of Scotty's loss because he feels it.
Yeah.
But
But he
it
found a
also
friend.
the power of friendship
Yes.
brings his spirits back up.
Classic. You got a friend in me.
I love it. You got a friend in me, and that actually helps us on the way to the pay-per-view, because
Yes.
on the pay-per-view of Backlash, we have the reunited Big Quiche and Little Hottie in a tag action. But
Yep.
we'll get there when we get there.
Correct. And I'll run through all that as we do.
Absolutely.
Next segment, got a couple more things here. It's just tidying up, house cleaning. Rob comes out and demands his U.S. title back that he
didn't lose to
that he
Raven.
didn't lose, because he's absolutely furious with Raven for stealing it. And Raven, in classic, like, picture any great Raven promo. This is pretty much what this is. Raven's got the U.S. title and he's just dangling it, and he's just like, Rob, let's be honest, you and me both know you don't deserve this. This is something that I deserve. This is something that I've worked hard for. And you know damn well you can't beat me in that ring. You know. And
Can the match that we're promoting be Raven's rules?
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's where this is going. I probably should have wrote that on the thing.
That's
in
okay.
hindsight,
That's
but-
okay. But I just so happy, so
Yeah.
happy.
But
So-
no, so
In WCW, Raven will always use that mentality. He says, "You want a match with me?
yeah.
You got to do it my way,"
Exactly.
and that would give full credence and justification for him to take the title.
Yep.
Is for him to convince Rob that if you want the belt back, you got to beat me in my match.
Yeah.
And man,
Yeah,
this is
it's
good.
great.
That's a good show.
This
It's
is so fun.
Oh.
But yeah, so Raven does the cocky Raven promo. Rob says, "I demand a match with you at Backlash," and Raven says, "Okay, but only if we wrestle in Raven's rules."
Love it.
And I'm not as cool as Raven. I can't do the Raven.
It's all good.
But you guys get the vibes. You get the point. You get the grunge punk metal
Yes,
type situation. So Rob agrees like a stupid baby face.
of course. But the upside is Rob isn't averse to hardcore matches. And
Exactly.
that's basically all Raven
So he-
rules is anyway.
Yeah, that's all it is. But I mean,
If we could bring in Bill Alfonso, it would be perfect to have him for this one night only at Backlash. But
I'd have a ball.
Yeah.
I'd have a ball with Bill Alfonso for sure. But yeah, so that match is set up for the pay-per-view. Let me check. Okay. And then last but not least is obviously the main event I set up earlier in the night. We have Triple H now at the arena biting his teeth because he's like, God, I hope Kurt doesn't wait. I don't want to actually have to work for the show. And he's just sitting there, Flair sitting there like, it's okay, it's fine. Like maybe he'll trip and fall on a banana peel or something, and something crazy will happen. And so Kurt comes out, American Hero. He's doing the spin. You know Kurt's entrance.
you suck.
Yeah.
You suck.
You suck. And then Christian comes out, and he comes out with the haircut he's gonna have 4 years in the future to show that he's serious now. So you know the
Yeah. I'm all about it.
Yeah.
You couldn't believe how hard it was to find a long-haired Christian for when we did the draft video.
exactly.
Because he's so known for that.
He's so iconic
clean
for
cut.
that. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Because I mean, before his hair, was there really any individual pictures of Christian with long hair?
That
Like,
was
he
hard to
always-
find, yeah.
He was always with Edge.
Yep.
When in that period of his life. So like him being the established star, I associate with that haircut,
Absolutely.
which is why he has that now.
Yeah.
So the
No,
crowd pops.
I'm totally for it.
Yeah.
It wasn't a part of the 5 rules that you can't break, so you
Yep.
can cut people's hair all you
But
want.
so I can cut their hair whenever I feel like it. But Kurt's like, okay, I respect the new haircut. You're still gonna lose, but I respect the new haircut. And Christian, this whole match is just being punked by Kurt. Like Kurt's having an amateur wrestling match with him. He's over here thinking he's in the Olympics again, and he's like 2 points, and he's going crazy.
You know, I keep thinking you're talking about when you do this.
Chad Gable.
Chad Gable.
Yeah.
Like, how is that guy not getting pushed?
I don't know.
How is that
It's so
gonna-
confusing to me because he could easily be the most. He's the most over person in the company to me, aside from Seth. Unless you can think of somebody else,
Well, I mean,
at least in men's division.
I was gonna say currently, I think it goes like this: Sammy and Roman are almost like
Sorry, yeah,
Neck and neck.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens is in that
In that
conversation. So is Seth Rollins. He's in there, and then an argument could very well be made for Chad Gable. And like, you tell me,
So he's at minimum top 10.
You who doesn't want to see Chad Gable versus Seth Rollins? Who doesn't want to see Chad Gable versus Kevin Owens? Who doesn't want to see Chad Gable versus Sami Zayn? Who doesn't want to see Chad Gable versus Roman Reigns? I want to see all those matches.
Just Van Damme too, since we're on a
Yeah, exactly.
But it's just the fact that it was my lord, great stuff. But they have a nice little classic match. Kurt's pretty much punking him the entire match, pushing him down, pie facing him, kicking him while he's down, and he's laughing. And then the Tron lights up, and it's the countdown clock. And Chris Jericho comes out on the top of the ramp, and Kurt's like, "What the hell is going on here?" And that's when Christian sneaks up, hits the Unprettier, and pins Kurt Angle.
Can I help flesh out my personal vision of this show?
Sure.
I want Christian, Kurt, and Jericho to be like the three pictures on that roulette wheel next to each other, right?
Yeah.
And so that really, and obviously you got all the other names too. You got Meat, and you got Gunn, and you got all those guys, right? But these three dudes are really like the guys you think are gonna be hit when you see spinning, like, because they're like the tippity top guys. Not Christian, obviously.
Actually, no. It's
Chris and Kurt are the people you think are gonna win, right?
Exactly.
Jericho and Angle. And so I'm so glad you booked him here, because in my mind if you didn't, I was gonna suggest that he jumps or gets involved somehow, because he's too important not to be emphasized.
Exactly.
So I love that you already did it.
Yep. But Christian gets the big win over number one pick Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle, again, dejected because he's the number one guy, but he's lost again. Doesn't know what to do with himself.
It's like this is a storyline or something.
Yep. And then Chris Jericho is sitting up top of the ramp laughing at him. Meanwhile, in the back, we have Triple H going, "Yes! Yes! He did it! He did it, Rick! He did it!" So it's the best thing, because Triple H is losing his mind just with happiness.
Dude, I would love for Rick to be like, maybe he can be an Art of the Now because of their connection to Arn Anderson. He worked for the company, so might as well make reference to him.
Excellent.
Oh my goodness! And I really want to watch this Backlash now.
Yeah, this is fun. There's one last thing. So Mick's leaving the building, show's over, been great stuff, and Austin walks up to him and goes, "Hey, last week was a lot for me, and I've had time to think about it, and I really want to wrestle that new kid. You meet Brock Lesnar at Backlash." And Mick goes, "Are you sure about this?" He's like, "Yeah." And that sets up that match.
I like it.
All right.
I like it a lot.